Okay, hi there. Dan again here. In this video, we're going to show to you on how to set up your edge router device using the basic way, the basic setup. Now, in here, we're going to have a undergo 5 steps. First one, we're going to set up the WAN and LAN using the wizard predefined template of Ubiquiti, the basic setup. And then we're going to create a new user, user master, password master. And number 3, we're going to configure system settings, and 4, enable traffic analysis, and number 5, we're going to check the LAN ports internet connectivity because we're going to make it as a bridge. So this is the diagram. We have the WAN interface 80. We're going to set up it by DHCP, and for the S1 and S2, we're going to make it as the LAN ports. It is bridge mode. Okay, so without very much ado, let's dive in. To access the router, it's just going to configure a static IP on our laptop. So by default, okay, so by default, edge router's static IP is 192.168.1.1. So we'll just assign an IP of 192.168.1.10 on our laptop device. Okay. So to check if we're going to able to connect and that, let's just have a ping. I'll just check the static IP configuration first. Okay, as you can see, we have our Ethernet assigned as 192.168.1.10, and let's just ping the router. Persistent. Okay, we have a ping now, so just pop in the browser. Type in the IP of the router 1.1, advance, proceed. By default, this is UBNT. First time access of the router. Login. I think I'll just type in the password again. UBNT. Okay, we're now connected in our edge router. For basic setup, just click no for the default config and do not share. So in here, we're going to execute step number 1, setup WAN and LAN. So a while ago, I said that we use the wizard, the predefined template of Ubiquiti, basic setup wizards. So actually, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 templates. So we'll just use the basic setup template. Okay. So in here, as per the diagram, one port is a 80. It's a DHCP mode. So just select DHCP. This is 80, and then included in the wizard is the setup of firewall, default firewall rules. So let's just say leave it check for the default setup. DNS forwarding, leave it as default. So this is the setup for the bridge. So a while ago, let's bridge ETH1 and ETH2. So let's check this one. Let's make the LAN IP, configure the LAN IP to, as per diagram, it is 172.16.17.0/24. So 172.16.17.1. This is the port of ETH1. 255, yeah, that's it. It's /24. Enable the DHCP coming from the server. Leave it check. And this is for the step 2. Let's create a new user. User be master and password is master. And then that's it for the template. So let's review DHCP for 10.80. So whatever the configuration from the source IP of the internet, that should be automatically adopted by your router in its 0 port. Okay. This forwarding, leave it as default. Bridge, we have checked the bridge for ETH1 and ETH2. we created a new user, deleting the old default user, the Ubiquiti. And after that, you're going to click apply. And this is the things that we're going to execute. So apply changes, and then we're prompted to reboot the device. Click reboot, and yes, I'm sure. So now the device is rebooting. So to monitor when the device comes back, let's just obtain the IP address on the laptop since we configured the LAN IP of the network. Obtain. And then back on the diagram, right now I am currently connected to 80 for the configuration. In 80, we're going to unplug that cable from our laptop and connect it to S1. And then for 80, let's connect the cable from the ISP. So, okay, I'm just gonna go in and connect the appropriate cables in there in a while. Okay, so we're back now, and then as you can see in the network icon, the lower part portion of your desktop, it says we have internet access. Let's find out the IP address obtained from that ISP. IP is 172.16.17.38, similar to what we have configured on the LAN for S1 and S2. So let's ping if we have internet access. So as you can see, we can ping google.com. So let's jump back to our router. The IP address is this one, the default gateway. And then pop back a Google Chrome browser. Hit enter on that, certificate error, proceed. So this is the dashboard for the newly configured router. As you can see, we have set up a user and password a while ago, master and master. So just type it in the credentials, log in. So voila, there we go. This is the dashboard. As you can see in the interfaces, for the internet, it's 0. This is the source IP, and it says it's connected. And for the local bridge, we call this a bridge 0. The interfaces is 1 and 2. And it says connected because we're connected to S1. Okay, so that's it. Let's proceed to step number 3, configure system settings. So to configure system settings, basic setup, let's just go to dashboard and then system and then basic settings. So let's name this router as test router. One word. And then let's set the time zone to time zone Asia. Select country Philippines. And then time zone all. Okay. And for the name server, I will just add the public DNS server 8.8 and then 8.8.1.1. Okay. Let's leave NTP enabled, IPv6 enabled also. Let's just disable SSH for security purposes and disable UNMS. Also disable UBNT discovery. So far that's it for the system settings. So as a review, we have set the host name, time zone, name server. Yes, and then hit save. So as you can see, the CPU is piling up, so it's saving the settings that we have done. Okay, you can check on that by seeing the host name to test router, so you can verify that the changes have taken place. Alright, that's for step number 3. Step number 4, we're going to enable traffic analysis. So this could be accessing the traffic analysis tab of the dashboard, and then enable the operational status radio button, and then click yes. Now what does this do? Traffic analysis will inspect packets coming from host PCs. So it will audit the traffic of what the host PCs are accessing. So as you can see here, we have our laptop is being detected in the traffic analysis, and packets or traffic is being graphed based on its data. So that's it for step number 4. Now let's proceed to step number 5, the last step. Check LAN ports internet connectivity. So to check, currently we are connected to interface 1. So we have here internet access. If we're going to run ipconfig, so this is the details. So we have successfully obtained IP from that interface. And if we're going to services, check on the DHCP server view leases. It says we have a pole size of 206, least 1 because we only have one PC connected to the router, and it has available of 205. So this is the details of the connection. We have successfully connected to 80, 1 I mean. So we'll just try to connect to S2 if it has internet connection, as we configured it as bridge based on the diagram. Okay, we're now back. So we are connected in S2. Let's check the dashboard. So as you can see on the web interface, the S2 lights up. So meaning there is a cable connected on that port. Let's run ipconfig if we have obtained an IP, and then renew. Okay. Yep. We got a new IP list from S2. It's the same network because we configured the router as bridge. So meaning S1 and S2, the same LAN and in the same network as per configuration. So let's try browsing YouTube. Yeah, we can access YouTube. Let's run speed test to measure our speed. So okay, all in all, the configuration is successful for the basic setup. So that's it. We're done. Basic setup. Edge router, Ubiquiti Edge router 8 Pro. Thanks. Next video.